or not?
So I get asked all the time, how do I get started in creating more wealth and income in real estate? And I've been in it so long. I started in real estate in 1986. Hard for me to give an answer to that, but today we're really lucky to have a guest as a lady who I've known for about 10 years or so, who both has approached this business as an investor. She's approached it as a real estate professional, as a real estate broker, and then has really stepped up her game in some big investments in what I call wealth building. My good friend, colleague, fellow XP agent, partner in a couple parts of our business, Annabelle Pacheco. Annabelle, how you doing?
Very good. Hi, Bill.
I'd say it's always fun to talk to you, but the truth is it's not always fun to talk to you. For those who may know us, I call her my second wife in that we work on a lot together. We co-host a monthly event for agents called Agents Helping Agents. That's in Diamond Bar on the first Friday of the month. We also co-host, or actually, we work together, and you've now taken over the Multifamily podcast for multifamily investing. So we do work on quite a bit together, and we're colleagues as far as building our business together. Let's talk about what was it that got you, before you invest in real estate, I think you started flipping houses, if I remember right. What was it that got you from working for the man to getting involved in investing in real estate? What was that impetus?
Well, I think that I've always been entrepreneurial and just following successful people in real estate, or just successful people, period. The common denominator was always real estate, right? Investing. And many years ago, when I started in my career, one of the things that we were doing and honestly we were doing well, was buying homes and fixing them and flipping them. And the market was great. It was beautiful. I mean, obviously we were in an area that maybe not a lot of people would have gone in, but we were working Compton, Linwood, like it was rough. It was rough. And, but that's where the deals were at. And we loved it. And it was nice to go to auctions and have the option to pick a couple of houses to buy, right? It wasn't just you have one and that's it. We had an opportunity there to buy multiple homes, and we did. And it was just great to have the experience. I mean, I had mortgage experience in those days because I had originally started in the mortgage industry, and my husband, a general contractor. So we kind of covered all those areas and felt comfortable enough to just go out and do this on our own. And we did. And I would say have probably done over 100 homes throughout my career.
As a flipper. And so you started as a mortgage lender, and with that, use that knowledge. So I do think it's helpful. I started in lending as well. I do think it's a great place to start if you're younger, starting your career, to learn the business. And if somebody's going to pay you, look at that as kind of like going to college and you're getting paid instead of paying tuition.
Exactly what you said, I used to say to myself, because I used to drive, remember, to the lender mortgage office. And I was not making any money at that time, but I'd say to myself, you know what? I'm getting paid to learn. And happened to be at the right place at the right time. They needed a Spanish speaking agent for their in-house loans. And I was there, and those loans would come in and I'd speak to them in Spanish. I probably didn't even have the answers, but you know what? I'd take notes, and then I'd go ask my boss, hey, what do I need to do here? And I'd come back and I'd give them a plan of what we recommend that we would do. So, it was great. And I think it's just part of the process. I think that, when you get involved in real estate, there's so many factors to it. And when you're exposed to all of them, they just make you that much more valuable. You understand it better.
One thing that's unique about you, I just realized, is I have a lot of friends who grew up Hispanic culture. I grew up in La Habra. Half my high school was Mexican, where their parents, came from Mexico and spoke Spanish in the home. But my friends were college educated for the most part, didn't speak much Spanish on purpose. You're one of the few people I know who's educated and speaks fluent Spanish of our generation. Younger kids is different, but there was something about it when I was in high school that the kids going to college didn't want to, but somehow you kept not just the Spanish language, but the culture. Like I noticed how you talk to the help at construction sites and all that. Tell me about that. That's a unique upbringing in my book.
Well, I am proud to say that I am Ecuadorian. My family, I was born here in the States. My family's from Ecuador. And, although I wasn't born there, I feel very Hispanic, and that culture is not going to end. My kids have a Cuban father, Ecuadorian mother, and they all, except for my middle one, but they all speak Spanish. They're all, we're very involved in our culture. And I think it's important to have that heritage. I'm not letting it go. I mean, I speak English very well. I speak Spanish very well. And I think there's room for both.
I always enjoyed, we used to sit next to each other in an office, and I used to enjoy listening to you speak Spanish because I could follow I don't know what it was about your accent. I guess being Ecuadorian, there's different dialects, but somehow I could follow you a little more closely than I could some of my friends who were maybe Mexican Spanish or other countries. And it's something I always appreciated being around you. So you got into flipping, but you're also a real estate agent as a professional now, full-time.
Real estate broker, actually.
Real estate broker, okay, like me. You have the broker license, you operate under a brokerage.
Correct.
But you are a broker. So talk about, why do you do that? Why not just invest full-time or flip full-time? Why do you do real estate sales?
So I think, we all have a story, right? And for me, at age 40, I got involved in I made a bad business decision and lost a lot. Probably, I would say lost, I think, everything at that point. And I went through a few months of reflection. What am I going to do? How am I going to get out of this? Right. And I needed immediate, I needed to figure out a quick way to rebuild. And at that point, it was, maybe I need to do real estate sales. I didn't want to go back to loans. That wasn't it. Loans, I liked it, but it just wasn't something that I was passionate about. And I decided that, I'm going to go full-time retail real estate, learn it, and do it right. And I did. I got involved with the right coaching company, and I learned that I needed a prospect. And I will say to those that are listening, I was always looking for the quick, get rich quick, give me the quick, get rich quick recipe. And there is none. There's none.
Well, there is one, which is work hard every day.
Exactly.
And be patient. And over time, you'll make a lot of money.
Correct. But up until age 40, as I said in the beginning, I was very entrepreneurial and I was trying different things. I mean, real estate was always the main thing, but we're trying different things, and, it just never worked out. And then this last one where I made just a bad business move, and I felt what? I need to figure a way to get out of this quick. Now, real estate's not quick, but it's a very lucrative industry that if you get coaching and you follow what your coach says and you do that, you can get out of it fairly quick, because we make very good commissions here in California. One deal on average commission is what? $10,000, $15,000.
Yeah.
So what? I kind of just put those blinders on and I just went full force. Okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to learn? Just tell me what it is and I will do it. And I did. I had 3 young children at that time. And I said, I'm going to work hard because I need to provide, and I need to just come out of this quick. And I think that's kind of why I've been in the retail real estate side of it, because it's been very lucrative. And I've put in, a lot of years where I have past clients in Sphere that I still take care of and I still connect. And, I'm working second generation of families. I've worked with my clients, their children, and now nieces and nephews and grandkids. So it's there. I learned that your past client and Sphere is very important to maintain relationship with. And I do. I try to on a friendly basis with my clients.
I think also you've developed skills to where you can do things more easily than a newer agent. You can do more efficiently, so it doesn't take you as much work to sell a house as it might somebody starting out.
Correct.
That's the business side that you say you're an entrepreneur from the beginning.
Correct.
So real quick, let's do some housekeeping real quick. Let me just remind everybody, this is the official podcast of the LA County Real Estate Investors Association. The website's lareic.com, but it's the LA County Real Estate Investors Association. And we have live events. We have two coming up, actually. One on Saturday, October 21st. This is the big event of the year, the Grand Expo. They're both at the same place. They're at the Iman Cultural Center on Motor Avenue, West LA, Culver City area. Saturday, the October 21st, there'll be probably about, they're guessing 600-700 guests. There'll be 12 national speakers. I've interviewed a bunch of them on this channel if you're watching. And it's a great day, a chance for you for free, it's for attendees, it's free, to see really 12 different experts on how they approach real estate, wealth building, and investment. You can register here online for free. And then monthly, the second Thursday of the month, we have the Real Estate Vendors Expo, and that is at the same location. And the next one will be November 9th. We have a speaker there. We have about 50 vendors that show up on one of them, and love to have you there to participate in those programs. They're free. We do this podcast every Tuesday at 3 p.m. And I'm Bill Gross. Speaking of podcasts, so along the way, you started developing an interest in multifamily properties. And one of the ways you leverage your knowledge and your prospecting business is by hosting a podcast on multifamily investing. Tell me about what, I know it's been a challenging journey for you,
Yes.
but tell me about that.
It's been great because as I'm doing my real estate, right, I have the goal to invest in multifamily, and everything happens for a reason, and the more real estate you do, the more knowledgeable you become, and different situations, different things that just prepare you, right, for ultimately the things that you want. And I had a goal to go out and purchase multifamily. I did with my husband, and we did it as owner operators. Like, we went out there, we searched, we bought a property, seller financed, we fixed the property up, and in 2 years pretty much doubled its value. And we were able to refinance, cash out, get all our money back, and have a very, very, very good performing property. And managed, we kind of did our own little management group. It was 34 doors, not too many. You can have a manager on site and a handyman on site, and managed it from here. And we did very well. Did a full cycle. Market, a year or two ago, was at its peak, and we decided that was a good time for us to cash out, and we did. We probably 5 times our money, which was an amazing investment for us. And as a result of that, and in talking to you, it was how we kind of came up with this multifamily weekly call. And, at the beginning, I have struggled because I don't think I made the connection. And now I have finally made the connection why I'm doing this multifamily call. And it's because there's a lot of people out there that want to invest in multifamily and don't know, probably don't know what questions to ask, and don't even know what that first step is. And so having a platform where I can bring in superstar guests that are involved in the multifamily space and come talk and just share, right? Just be very vulnerable, transparent. We don't want to sugarcoat anything. I mean, we want to be real. Just come on this weekly call and share those opportunities. Share what are the steps to be taken, right? How much money do I need to invest? And I'm huge on make sure that you interview and that you do your due diligence on any of the investors that you're going to get involved with. Because at first, I really was never even part of being, like, I didn't want to invest with others. But I've learned through this process that you do, if you want to scale, you do have to invest with others.
So you did your own multifamily transaction, which we did an episode on this, and you're a little modest about it. It's public now. You guys made over $1 million on a multifamily property that you flipped in a couple of
Yes.
years. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So you went on and created this multifamily podcast, and you co-hosted with a friend of ours, Paul Krause. He's another one who's
Correct.
done phenomenal in the last couple of years in multifamily. So for those of you looking to get involved in multifamily, Annabelle's a practitioner. She's done it and is looking to do it. She's not selling a coaching program.
No.
You know, when you go in some of these multifamily programs, you realize that you're the customer. They're not going to teach you how. They're not focused on teaching you multifamily. They're focused on selling you their coaching program. Annabelle, if I know your program well enough, you guys don't have a program to sell. You're just going to interview practitioners and vendors and teach and learn yourself, along with Paul, who's another fellow agent, practitioner, investor. That's why I think it's exciting about that. So if you're interested in that, we'll have the link in the show notes, but it's on Eventbrite, the Multifamily Real Estate Investing Podcast. And then additionally, you do for real estate. Am I showing that? There you go.
Yeah.
And then additionally, you also host Agents Helping Agents. We co-host that together. That's an event for real estate agents. It's the first Friday of the month, November 3rd. We get together and talk about how to do business. So really, you're approaching both of these like me as a practitioner, not as I'm selling you a program, pay me $10,000 and I'll teach you how to do it type person.
That's right.
And I think your goal is you want somebody to find a bird dog of property and say, well, I'd like to get started. I don't know what to do. Can we work on it together?
Correct.
And that's what you're looking to do, is really help somebody in that process.
Correct. And I think, like you hit it on the nail. I mean, it's really trying to find individuals that maybe like me, right? They see that I'm.
Well, who's that going to be?
I'm sure there's someone out there that will.
It's bound to be.
But,
yeah, no, you're right.
But it's just, they like me. They see that I'm there. I'm present every week. I provide value. And look, I have had a handful of guests and just people that attend my weekly calls, sending me opportunities, different projects. And if I'm not interested, I will share them. I'll send them out to others that I know that are in that area. And that's what I'm trying to create here. That right. Maybe I may not be the one to invest with, but I know I have others that would be interested. I'll put them together.
Right. So again, I think the beautiful thing, if you're interested in getting involved in multifamily, she has this call every Wednesday at 2 p.m. where they really just bring in an actual practitioner who describes their program, what they've done. And I think that's the opportunity to see people week in, week out and get to know her. If you want to see her in person, you can go to her live event first Friday of the month as well.
Yeah. So
you and I have worked together now for, I want to say about 10 years, maybe longer.
13.
13. So 2010 as we started. Yeah. I guess so. 13 years. Time flies, man. If you don't do something, I guess I should just age it based on my daughter. My daughter was 13 then, and she's 27 and got 2 kids. So yeah, she was 13 at those days. Yeah. Wow. So, and your daughter too is grown up. So in that time, we've seen people who along with us have done really well. And we've also, during that time, seen people who kept talking about wanting to do it and never got started. What do you think the difference is between those people who either with us or on their own or separately, got into the game and did well with it versus those who are still getting ready to get started?
I mean, I don't know. I think they're just afraid to take. They're afraid, right? They don't.
But you're afraid.
I'm afraid, and
all the time. I mean, I don't think I'm putting anything out there, but we live with fear. I mean, you deal with you're definitely afraid of losing your money and investments and getting started.
You just have to be gutsy. You just have to be, you've got to be willing to risk. There's in any deal, and I've known this ever since I was young. In any deal, there's always a risk. But if you don't take the risk, you're never gonna know if you are going to succeed. And I'll tell you, when I made the conscious decision that I was going to buy out of state property, I went to a lot of people that I respected around me. And I asked them about, I ran the situation by them. And I will tell you that 5 out of 5 told me, don't do it. I would never do it. I only invest in my backyard. If I can't drive to it, I won't buy it. And, if I would not have had maybe my husband's support, of, we always talk about it. Let's just say I would have been easily influenced by other people's opinion. I would have never done what I've done today.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you just have to kind of be like, you just got to put on your big girl pants. You got to analyze the situation, right? Pros and cons, weigh it out and go for it. Because once you're in it, you're going to figure, you're going to sink or swim, right? And we said, okay, we went out, we did it. It was out of state and it was a lot of work. Nobody's saying that it's easy. It's a lot of work, but you know what? We were not about to be in a position where we were going to lose. We went full force. And I think you just have to have that mentality of you're going to go full force. You're going to make it happen.
First off, I want to say I got a note in the chat box. You have the link for this week's expo. I put it in the chat if you're on YouTube and Facebook. If you're watching live stream, and we have a bunch of people watching YouTube, and this isn't just us, you're there too, and thank you for joining us. If you're on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn, feel free to put a question in the chat box. It'll come to me. We'll answer them in real time as best we can. You said put on your big girl pants. I don't have big girl pants. What do I do?
Your big boy pants.
You said something, though, that really strikes with me, knowing you, and it's true for me too, is you have to have a support structure. I think that's why we got married, right? I think part of what's pushed you is you have an amazing husband. Amazing. You really married up and hit the jackpot. I have to tell you, he's a great guy.
Yes.
And I don't know how you hang on to him all these years, but he's really, no, I like tease you about that. He really is a great guy. He's really amazing. But, my wife too, I'll never forget when I left working for the brokerage that you and I met at, and I didn't have a plan. I just knew I didn't want to work for the owner anymore. I was done. I went to him. I quit. I went out of here and I had no plan. I just knew I'd figure it out. And usually back then when I worked for this company, I got up every day at 6 o'clock, and I'd done that for 4 or 5 years. I did it for many years being in real estate sales. And so this was like the first day off in a while, and I was sleeping. I was laying in bed, I remember at 6:30, and my wife rolled over and said, "When are you getting out of bed?" I guess I got to get started on something, huh? I think without her, I might have stayed in bed all day long or taken a week off, or who knows where I'd be today. But, I do know that having a spouse kind of forces you to perform. Not nobody's as lucky to have the strong spouses and supportive spouses and children that we've had. But certainly it's been a great blessing for both of us.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So let's talk about, where we are now in the real estate investing. Scary, just today rates hit a new 23-year high. I mean, it seems like the last 9 months have been a constant tightening of the market, if you will. And it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be bad, but it does mean it's different. It does mean that what worked a year or two ago may not work now. What do you see right now? What do you see going forward? And what are you doing to be on top of that market?
As far as like investing?
And just in general.
Well, I think, I'm still, there's still, okay. So let's talk about my retail, like representing my clients. There are still opportunities out there. I know that interest rates are higher, but I want to say that our market is, at least what I'm seeing, is that it's leveling off, right? It was the last couple of years was just something out of the ordinary, and buyers, sellers, everybody knew that houses were going to sell for $50,000, $100,000 above the list price. That was a little too much, I think, right? Now you got to price your home right if you want to sell it. And there are buyers out there that still qualify with these interest rates. They have money. I come across them every single day, and they're still looking to buy houses. And I think that if you're a seller and you price your home at market value, you are going to sell it. You have no reason. There's no reason for that not to happen. You're going to sell it. Investment wise, I think multifamily, I'm being a little bit more cautious, right? I know there's a lot of operators that didn't underwrite properly and are now seeing the are seeing they're struggling, right? Because no one really took into consideration that insurance was gonna not even double, but maybe triple, quadruple, right? They didn't factor that in. And I think that and interest rates, they didn't expect interest rates to jump up to where they're at right now. So I think right now I am definitely being cautious. In order for a deal to make sense, I mean, it's going to have to be a really good deal. If not, I'm not investing right now.
Just for everybody on the call, I don't disagree with anything you said. I will say I've cut expenses. I've got money in the bank. I've been diligent in my business, creating some diversification and being diligent to generate revenue. I got a pile of cash and I've been waiting. I looked at last night a deal I really liked. This is the first one I would say, wow, I liked that deal a lot. It wasn't available 6 months ago or a year ago. I think there'll be more opportunities. And so this is where fortunes are made, are in these kind of markets. So this is not a time to be depressed. It's not a time to spend money. It's not a time to waste money. This is a time to load up and to be smart. And that's why I do this. Yeah. That's why I helped you build your multifamily programs. I want to look at deals I want to invest in. I'm not here to play around. This is serious for me too. So
yeah.
Well, good. Well, okay. So again, just a quick housekeeping. If you're watching this on the live stream, whether it be YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn, love to have you have comments. Thank you, Leanne, for your participation so far. And for the rest of you watching, this is also the official podcast for the LA County Real Estate Investors Association. LAREIC is the website. And they have a whole series of programs, but the main programs I would say are the Grand Expo is this Saturday. It's a once-a-year event. There'll be about 500-600 people there, 12 national speakers. It's all day, 9 to 6. It's free. It's free $99. Can't beat that price. And it's a great chance to really learn. You'll see 12 different national speakers. You'll have 75 vendors to learn from. And then every second Thursday of the month, November 9th, the next one, there's a Vendors Expo. A little smaller scale, about 250 people, and about 50 vendors. Love to have you there if you're available. And then Annabelle's multifamily program, the link's in the chat below, or reach out to me. Won't be more glad to get that to you. But that's every Wednesday at 2 o'clock. Annabelle and Paul Krause, another friend of ours, hosts that program, and we'll appreciate her being on here. So so we see interest rates up, we see insurance rates marching up, and yet at the same time, do you currently have inventory? Like I have investments in real estate where they're cash flowing and they're raising the rents, and the mortgage I got 2, 3, 4 years ago was fixed, so we're sitting on a nice positive cash flow for the next couple of years. That's why I got into the multifamily business. What do you see going forward? Do you see yourself participating actively? Do you see, how do you want to participate? What do you want to see? Where do you want to be 2, 3 years from now?
Wow. Well, definitely. So I've diversified. I'm invested in, currently I'm in El Paso, Texas. That's about, let me see how many doors. That's 310 doors there. And that property is performing and doing extremely well. Cleveland, Ohio is 75 doors. That one still being renovated and, but it's there. Yeah. It's, we're pushing through. And then Houston, we have 180. I think that one you're also part of. So, I think, I'm banking on appreciation. This is long-term. This is for, this is for retirement. That money is there. And I know that with time, we will all be fine there.
Well, the challenge is also, if you don't have your money there, where do you have it, right? Because I make more than I spend. That's what you have to do in the long run to create wealth. But to do that, you have to have your money in a place that will work for you as well. And I feel like real estate's a place where it continues to work for me. Whereas stocks and bonds, I look back now in the last 3 years, I about broke even. I'm pretty lucky to have done that. I mean, it's really been, in some ways, a waste. If I just put the money in a bank account, I might have done just as well and not thought about it. I would have felt stupid had the market gone up, but the truth is it didn't.
Yeah.
And it's not been nearly as productive for me as the real estate has been. And even with I have one that we're in together that has struggled, but it's growing in value. I mean,
Correct.
it's been
And that's where I was going.
the property is going to be worth more. The cement, glass, steel, and wood is all costing more.
100%.
So it has to go up over time. There's no alternative.
Well, and because the property is undergoing improvements and they're increasing the rents, ultimately the value of that property is going to come back up, or it's going to go up. I mean, there's no other way. The only way that we would lose is if no improvements were made, property was left exactly the same way that it was. And it's not happening. So that's why, I would have taken, if I would not have invested my money that way, I would have figured out another way to spend that money, and maybe, who knows, I wouldn't even have it. So, I look at it as it's an investment. It's there. The properties will appreciate, and I will almost double my money on all my investments.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right in the long run. That's the beauty of it. If you're playing this game for 5 or 10 years, it's going to work itself out. Hey, Maribel's, we got a little shout out from Maribel Jimenez to both of us. Good friend of ours who comes to our Diamond Bar event. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your multifamily investing podcast. Who do you have on there, and how do you find those people, and what's your kind of goal on having guests there?
So I bring in multifamily, like rock stars, people that are actually out there doing some big stuff that are willing to come on and share. And what I have found is that everyone is really, really, really giving, right? Like, they don't mind sharing. They don't mind giving out information. And again, we're not selling anything on my weekly call. It's, it's free information. I mean, if you're looking to get involved in multifamily, and you maybe you're looking for partners, maybe you're looking for people, come on the call, right? Talk with me, talk with everyone that's on the call, make yourself noticeable, and believe me, friendships and relationships will come out of this. And that's really my goal. My goal is I'm bringing in multifamily guest speakers. It gives me an opportunity to interview them, to ask them questions, to get to know them. Maybe there's a relationship afterwards outside of this call that we can maybe become partners on deals. And that's the purpose, and help bring other people that know me, like me, trust me, that want to invest, will want to invest with me.
I think it's really unique. Unlike some of the calls, there's some that do webinars and they kind of act like there's other people on the call. Yours is really interactive, and really anybody who jumps on that call can ask questions of some of these people who are operators who are running 5,000-10,000 units of housing and have built it. I mean, I forget the lady you had. There was a lady who was an Indian lady, Siddharth. Sandhya. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She's like a monster.
Brilliant lady.
Just a monster. She's just brilliant and accomplished and so giving. I think that's the other thing I always look for with these people is, if they're willing to share what they're doing and they're willing to educate and bring people along. It's easy everybody made money when the market was easy 2 years ago. This is a market where, and I had a phone call from the guys that we had the deal in Houston. They called me up and when we invest in a program, and I just said, my parameters are 200 units and up. This one was like 180 or 170. And I just said, it's not for me. I'm sure there'll be other deals for me, but I appreciate they called me and reached out to me because we have a relationship. And I think that, when you're looking for deals, they're hard to find. When people call you with deals, you can kind of sift through them and decide where you want to put your money. And I've made a couple of good investments here lately that I'm happy with that I can turn over. I think anybody in this business who's making money right now, this is the opportunity to leverage. It's one thing to make money, and make more than you spend and you have something to show for it. But if you take that extra money and leverage that, that's where the real wealth comes from.
Exactly. So I always talk about, making our money work for us, not us work for our money.
Well, I work for my money, but when I got it, then I put it to work out. It's like, I worked this hard. Now you need to go to work
Correct.
And I got a check yesterday. I got some deposits. There's nothing like, I don't know about you, but for me, my bank account, whenever I get a deposit, I get an email or charge. I just, that's my quality control to keep track of everything. And I can see what my wife is spending. That's a tip for all you married guys. But I got to tell you, there's nothing like getting deposits. Like, what is that again? Oh, that's right. It's quarterly, you get this, and monthly, you get that. And so that's where the goal of this business is, to get that spot. So let's talk about generational wealth. You have 3 kids.
Yeah.
Any of them going to get into real estate? Is that something you're trying to pass on to them?
Well, my oldest got his license, and he helps me. He's still in school, and that's kind of his primary focus right now. But
Sure.
he helps me with anything, and he's extremely grateful to have been exposed to real estate. And he tells me that, you know what, there's a backup plan if all else fails, and he doesn't like what he's studying and what he's doing, and there's always real estate for him to fall back on.
I think he was playing with us in the summertime when he was off of school, and it seemed like it was fun for him. And you can see he's committed to his school, which is good. But at the same time, it'd be fun to play with him when he's ready to. When he's off this coming summer, so if we get a chance to play with him there. But still, the wealth is something you're trying to create for your family. This is not just about them participating, but it's about them benefiting. How do you see this benefiting your family in the future?
Well, I mean, it's everything I'm doing is for my family, right? Just I feel like giving them an opportunity to just learn the beauty of what multifamily does, right? It's cash flow and just creating wealth by having assets. Like you're putting your money to work for you, and you just let it sit there, and that's just going to accrue, and the value is going to appreciate, and it's just a never-ending wheel. And I tell them, I try to encourage them. I'm like, the minute you guys start earning money, like maybe the first 2 years, just live on like half or less, put it aside, save it. And I said, and I'll walk you guys through buying your first property or an investment deal. So that way they can also create it, right? It's a game. It's Monopoly, right? The more properties you buy, the more money you have.
Yeah. So definitely, I would say it's not like Monopoly. It's like the cash flow game. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I just learned this story recently. He wrote the book to explain the game. His real vision was the game should be taught across the country so people learn how to play the game of money. Just the other day, my wife was listening to somebody describe how they had like $1.4 billion of assets. They took a loan out and cashed out $500 million and bought more cash flowing assets. They paid no tax on the withdrawal of the refinance. Now they have new assets, but because the new building has expenses, they're accelerated. That income offsets the other project's income. Yeah. So they're paying no taxes. Yeah. They went from $1.4 billion to like $2 billion in net worth. And she said, the system is really rigged for the rich. I said, yeah, your choice is to either be pissed about it or to join the ranks and be rich. And I'm not that rich, but I'm better off than I was last year or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And I work at it every day to get there. The rules are generated for the people with a lot of money. They're the ones who pay off the politicians and get the rules written for them. You might as well join in and enjoy the benefits of it at some point.
Yeah. I mean, it's leverage in a good way, right? Leveraging because you're investing in another property. It's exactly what we did. I mean, we seller financed because we knew, right, that it was going to be a bit hard to get a loan, but we used that as leverage. We had capital here to go and invest, and in 2 years the property doubled in value. Right. And you take that money and you reinvest, right? And you still have a performing asset over here while you've now extracted some cash from it and you're putting it in other properties and investing.
Right. And not paying taxes on that either.
And not paying taxes on it.
It's crazy. The tax thing is crazy. I I look at I'm getting ready to make elections for Social Security, and they have a printout of the years, and you see the money you make, and then you see what you get reported for taxes. It's like, it's amazing. We have a little bit of real estate income, how you can live so much better and pay so much less taxes. It's
Yeah.
really, the whole thing is kind of crazy.
Yep.
Okay. So, I think that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. Any last words of encouragement? Somebody's looking to get started in investing in real estate. They're scared. They maybe lost everything like you did years and years ago. What would you encourage them to get started? What would you encourage them to do?
I think the most important thing is connect with someone that you are attracted to, right? That you maybe see similarities in, that are knowledgeable, that have maybe been through stuff that like have done stuff that you're interested in doing. Connect, right? Ask questions, learn from them. I'm always open. I think I've been pretty transparent, and I'm transparent with all the agents that I come in contact with, at Agents Helping Agents, and those even outside of Agents Helping Agents. I'm pretty much an open book, right? If you guys need help, I'm more than happy to share. I'm more than happy to guide you down that path. If you're not sure, if you want to get involved in multifamily, reach out to me. I can connect you with others. And if you're looking to invest, connect with me. If you have deals, connect with me. I mean, I think the most important thing is talking about it. And again, at the end of the day, it's knowing and trusting and liking that person that you are going to align yourself with and invest with. Very important.
I heard somebody say you can go fast by yourself, but you can only go far with other people.
Correct.
So appreciate you being one of the other people in my business as a real estate agent, broker. You've been a great colleague and partner. As a builder of our team, you've been a great partner in that. Multifamily investments, you've helped guide me in some great ways there as well. So I know I appreciate you. For everybody on the call today, thank you so much for your time, and accept all of our prayers for your continued success and growth. We really appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
So we'll just, again, every Tuesday, 3 p.m. is our LAREIC.com podcast, LA County Real Estate Investors Association. This Saturday is the Grand Expo. We have 750 people there, and love to have you join us. So go to the link, LAREIC.com, or call or text or email me. I'll be more glad to get you the link. And that's the end of our podcast today. See you next week. If you like this on YouTube or Facebook, like it, subscribe to it. We'll see you soon. Make today your best day ever. Thank you so much.